Survival house. They could take the youths and bring them back into the schoolhouse. Education was saying, money come after. Yo, Sheldon Kane. Yo, Jojo, Kulachini. I want to them. If they want to go to school. Go get your education, me a beg you no revise where you learn from class, me a tell you no. Cause it's not hard, it's a task, just give yourself a chance and you say that you grasp where them tell you no. Go get your education, me a beg you no revise where you learn from class, me a tell you no. Cause it's not hard, it's a task, just give yourself a chance and you say that you grasp where them tell you no. Load the machine, I better you go the machine instead of you dip on the corner and I get your head machine. The little youths them nowadays them need to learn, to love, to read and recognize for you survivor education and the key youth. From George's, C.S.C. and C.S.E. Valley Camper down, Meadowbrook and Papine, Calabar and Dunwoodin. Till pre the news about the pick up the two cause of the books so no fi read and so get your education, me a beg you no revise where you learn from class, me a tell you no. Cause it's not hard, it's a task, just give yourself a chance and you say that you grasp where them tell you no. Go get your education, me a beg you no revise where you learn from class, me a tell you no. Cause it's not hard, it's a task, just give yourself a chance and you say that you grasp where them tell you no. Back in all my school days, me used to have it hard, but me also go to school anyway. Mama never get paid, but that never stopped me from getting education same way. So youth, pressure on the book. Take your mind out for the corner and have some those to overlook. They want to see you turn a teacher or a doctor or a lawyer. Anything you really wanna just not turn in and a cook. Girls, before you back it up, make sure you wrap it up. Before you be a man and be a woman first. Stay in a school cause you are gonna need your knowledge. Graduate and go to college cause we have a career is a must. So get your education, me a beg you no revise where you learn from class, me a tell you no. Cause it's not hard, it's a task, just give yourself a chance and you say that you grasp when they tell you no. Go get your education, me a beg you no revise where you learn from class, me a tell you no. Cause it's not hard, it's a task, just give yourself a chance and you say that you grasp when they tell you no. You start go a class, me a tell you no. Exam no fi pass, me a tell you no. And bench warmers a this, me a fi tell you no. No farm full study hard, me a beg you no. Cause nowadays we get a job, me a tell you no. No easy and papers them want, me a tell you no. No by the lies when them self on the corner. You get your education cause the future we a tell you no. Queens, think before you drop your jeans. Spend yours, refuse the abuse. A new school, you know. The grammar said use them to go to school. As I saw the thing said, education, unification, right in the minds. Hear this? Go get your education, me a beg you no revise where you learn from class, me a tell you no. Cause it's not hard, it's a task, just give yourself a chance and you say that you grasp where they tell you no. Go get your education, me a beg you no revise where you learn from class, me a tell you no. Cause it's not hard, it's a task, just give yourself a chance and you say that you grasp where they tell you no. Back in my school days, me used to have it hard, but mama also go to school anyway. Every day. Mama never get paid, but that never stopped me from getting my education same way. So youth, pressure on the book. Gonna school, new school. Survival house. They could take the youths and bring them back into the schoolhouse. Education was saying, money come after. Yo, Sheldon Kane. Yo, Jojo, Kulachini. I want to them. If they want to go to school. Go get your education, me a beg you no revise where you learn from class, me a tell you no. Cause it's not hard, it's a task, just give yourself a chance and you say that you grasp where them tell you no. Go get your education, me a beg you no revise where you learn from class, me a tell you no. Cause it's not hard, it's a task, just give yourself a chance and you say that you grasp where them tell you no. Load the machine, I better you go the machine instead of you dip on the corner and I get your head machine.
Good evening, Kosha. How are you doing, ma'am? Hello? Not hearing you. All right, just giving the other person some time to log on.
the youth them nowadays, them need to learn to love, to read and recognize for your survivor. Education and the key youth. From Georges, C.S.C. and C.S.E. Valley, Camperdown, Meadowbrook and Papine, Calabar and Dunwoodin, till pre the news about the pick up the two cause of the books so no fi read and so get your education. Me a beg you no revise where you learn from class. Me a tell you no, cause it's not hard, it's a task. Just give yourself a chance and yes, he said that you grasp where them tell you no. Go get your education. Me a beg you no revise where you learn from class. Me a tell you no, cause it's not hard, it's a task. Just give yourself a chance and yes, he said that you grasp where them tell you no. Back in all the school days, me used to have it hard, but me also go to school anyway. Mama never get paid, but that never stopped me from getting me education same way. So youth, pressure on the book. Take your mind out for the corner and have some notes to overlook. They want to see you turn a teacher or a doctor or a lawyer. Anything you really wanna, just a turn in and a group. Girls, before you back it up, make sure you wrap it up. Before you be a man and be a woman first. Stay in a school cause you are gonna need the knowledge. Graduate and go to college cause we have a career is a must. So get your education. Me a beg you no revise where you learn from class. Me a tell you no, cause it's not hard, it's a task. Just give yourself a chance and yes, he said that you grasp when they tell you no. Go get your education. Me a beg you no revise where you learn from class. Me a tell you no, cause it's not hard, it's a task. Just give yourself a chance and yes, he said that you grasp when they tell you no. Youth start go a class, me a tell you no. Exam no fi pass, me a tell you no. And bench warmers a this, me a fi tell you no. No farm full study hard, me a beg you no. Cause nowadays we get a job, me a tell you no. No easy a papers, them want me a tell you no. No buy the lies when them sell on the corner. Youth get your education, cause the future we a tell you no. Queens, think before you drop your jeans. Spend yours, refuse the abuse. A new school, you know. The grammar said use them to go to school. Cause that's what the thing said. Education, unification, right in the mind. Hear this? Yeah. Go get your education. Me a beg you no revise where you learn from class. Me a tell you no, cause it's not hard, it's a task. Just give yourself a chance and yes, he said that you grasp where they tell you no. Go get your education. Me a beg you no revise where you learn from class. Me a tell you no, cause it's not hard, it's a task. Just give yourself a chance and yes, he said that you grasp where they tell you no. Back in my school days, me used to have it hard, but mama used to go to school anyway. Every day. Mama never get paid, but that never stopped me from getting my education same way. So youth, pressure on the book. Gonna school. New school.
Start tonight. Just waiting on at least one more person to come on, then we're going to start. Nikosha, can you hear me? I'm not hearing you though. If you're hearing me, I'm not hearing you. All right, Tangine is logging on now, so I'm just going to wait until she gets on, then we start devotion and then we get into classes. Good night to those persons four persons who are viewing on YouTube. Good night to you. Good night to you. We're about to start our devotion and get into our class, which we're going to be continuing with vectors and do as much as we can on vectors tonight. So just looking forward to have another interactive class. I hope that the holidays has been good for you, but if you're doing exams, usually this time of the year, it's not an holiday for students who are doing exams. So we give God thanks that we have been given an extended period, which is of course in June. So we technically have a month and a few weeks left. Still enough time to get ready for exams. Next week, we'll be having our guest maths teacher. So we'll be co-teaching next week. I'll be having one of my colleagues co-teaching next week. We'll be looking at the algebra, ratios and functions question in paper 2, section 2. Do not miss that session. All right. I'll say further on after we have the devotion. Good night, Tangini. How are you doing, ma'am? Good night, Tangini. Well, you guys can't talk tonight? Okay, okay. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Good night, Tanisha. I'm senior. Good night, Miss Morgan. Good night. All right, so we're gonna have devotions first. And last time we looked at this one. All right, so we're gonna first read what is our devotional text. I mean, it's never too much to read the same Bible verse all the time. All right. So it says, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It is not this, it does not dishonor others. I just want to look at these lines. Let's look at it again. Love is patient. And if you love yourself, you have to learn to be patient with yourself. If you love someone else, you have to learn to be patient with them. Sometimes it's difficult to be patient, but it's something that we need to learn in order for we to love and truly love. Love is kind. It's not selfish. It does not envy. You know, don't see your brother or your sister or a friend or a family with something and then you want it. All of a sudden you want it. No, love does not envy. You must be happy for the person, you know? It does not dishonor others. It does not, it does not self-seek. You know, it doesn't seek for its own self. So if you are a loving person, you say you love someone, then you can't be seeking for your own self. You must be seeking for others. So for those persons who are listening to us on and viewing on YouTube, share the link with a friend who you know is doing exams. Don't have it all for yourself, right? It's not easily angered. So we have to learn to control our temper, you know? We have to learn to control. If we want to truly love someone or love ourselves, we have to learn to, you know, temper our anger, right? Keep it under control. It keeps no record of wrongs. And we all understand what that means, right? Love does not delight in evil, but it rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. And finally, love never fails. So if you said you love someone, then that love must be eternal because it never fails. So love is not based on feelings. Love is based on principles. And in order for us to truly love, then we need to be able to exercise these principles. So as we go forward, as we prepare our minds and our hearts for prayer, let us listen to this song, Goodness of God.
I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never fails me. And all my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have close like no other. I've known you as a father, I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God. Yeah. And all my life you have been faithful. Oh, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Yeah. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Oh, your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running, it keeps running after me. And all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna sing. Oh, gosh, 'cause all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. With every breath, oh, for all my days.
Unmute your mic, Tangini.
Good
Yeah, go
night
ahead.
again.
Yeah, good night.
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, Lord, we come before you one more time, Lord Jesus, because of your grace, and your mercies, Lord. I pray, God, that you cover us under your blood this tonight. I pray, God, that you touch this session. Have your way, Lord Jesus. Touch our teacher, cover him from the crown of his head to the sole of his feet. And I pray, God, that you have your way tonight, Jesus. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, thank you very much, Tangini. Okay, good night again. I saw that Lexi was trying to come on. I'm not sure what is happening with her. All right, so we're going to go into our session for tonight. We're going to recap what we did last week. We're going to be recapping all of that. Good night to Teresa. Okay, I saw what you said, Tanisha. Okay, good night, Teresa. Good night. I just want to ask Teresa, let me know if you are hearing. Teresa, let me know if you are hearing us on YouTube. All right, so we're going to recap what we did last week. All right, so I want to recap that. We started to look at a vector. So we're going to recap that as well. Okay, so it's this one. All right, so we were looking at question number or 2014 past paper. We're going to try and do as much vector questions tonight. Next week, we'll be having a guest instructor, and he will be doing another crucial section of the exam paper. So I'm going to ask you guys, please, to be in this class next week. Cannot be late. He's not a late person. He's an early person. All right. Good night, Lexi. Welcome back to class. Glad to have you back again, ma'am. You're missing in action. I sincerely hope that all the SBAs were done and submitted. And now it's time to go full speed ahead in preparation for exam. And I want to say thanks again to Tangini for lifting us up in prayers this night. All right, so we're going to recap what we did last week. We looked at a few of the terms that was used in this particular question. As you can see, it says in the diagram below, the coordinates of P and Q are 2, 4 and 8, 2 respectively. And respectively simply means that P is referring to 2, 4 and Q is referring to 8, 2. And last week, we plot these points, these two coordinates on a graph, and then we drew a line segment, which is in fact the vector from the point of origin. And now it says P may be written as OP, and we also discussed the fact that when we talk about OP, all position vectors begin with the letter O, meaning that all the vectors starting from O. So as you can see, we have all the vectors here starting from O, right? Or both. So we have OP and then we have OQ. We also looked at how we write the vectors. The first question we looked at, it says, what term is used to describe OP? The quiz. I forgot about the quiz. We'll be doing the quiz at the end of the class. All right. So we're going to do our weekly quiz at the end of the class. Forgive me, I did not get to prepare another set of multiple choice questions, but definitely next week, Wednesday, you'll have your multiple choice, C.X.C multiple choice questions. But the quiz tonight will be based on fractions, ratio, and proportion. That's a test to see what your memory is, how much you remember on that part of the syllabus. So next week, we'll be going towards some measurement, multiple choice questions, God's willing. All right, so do forgive me for not starting the class off with our weekly quiz. And if you're just joining us on YouTube, if you're joining us for the first time on YouTube, we normally start our class with a quiz. And of course, those persons on YouTube also get a chance to actively participate in the quiz. And of course, they also get a chance to not just learn, but to participate. So look forward at the end of the class, you will be able to participate in our weekly quiz as well. This gives an opportunity to prepare yourself for paper 1 exam. All right. Good night, Ashay.
Good night, sir.
Okay, thanks. Nice to have you back in class, ma'am. All right. So the first answer for last week's question was, what term is used to describe OP with that vector arrow above it. And of course, it is position vector. We also learned how to write each of the following in the term A over B. So they're asking us now to write OP in the form A over B. And we looked at our vector last week over this side here. So OP was 2 over 4, OQ was 8 over 2, and we had used a graph and we did some calculations last week to show you how you get 6 over negative 2. So that's what we did for last week's class. Now we're going to move on to the other part of the question that is there. Where are we? Right here. Good. All right. So we were looking at part 3 of the question and also part 4 of the question. And then now we're going to move into another set of questions. And then we will be looking at collinear as well. All right. Now, it says, I want somebody to read that part 3 for me, please. Can someone read part 3 for me, please? Can someone read part 3 for me, please? Ashley, if you're reading, your mic needs to be unmuted. Ashley, if you're reading, your mic needs to be unmuted. Can somebody read part 3 for me, please? Nobody wants to read part 3? All right, Nikosha, no, you.
There is that is a given that OP equal RQ determine the coordinates of the joint R.
No, of the point R.
Oh, point.
Yes, point R. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And that is 3 marks. So that's a very important question to answer. And we try not to give away any marks at all, right? No marks at all. All right. So it says, given that OP is equal to, and let us say position vector OP. Let's call it by its rightful name. Position vector OP, and of course, displacement vector RQ. Determine the coordinates of the point R. Note they ask you to determine the coordinates of the point R. So if they ask you to find the coordinates of the point R, what is the key word in this question? What's the key word? And those who are hearing as well can also type your answer in the YouTube chat and I will see it. Yes, go ahead. Anybody? What's the key word in part 3? You have to unmute your mic. You can text it in if you want to. Because your mic is muted. Anybody want to try? What's the key word in part 3? Anybody? All right, let me see. The key word in this one is actually, all right, somebody's texting in. Let's see what you're saying. Okay, so Nikosha says coordinates. You're correct. So the key word here is coordinates. So they're asking you really to tell what the point R is. Good. Now, in order to fully understand how to arrive at that answer, this symbol is very important. Good night, Lexi. Lexi's on and she jumps off. What's going on? Now, this symbol here.
I'm still here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're still there. Okay, okay. She drop off. All right. Now, this equal sign there is very important. Okay, good night, Gabriel. Good night, Gabriel. Gabriel also said that the key word is coordinates. Okay, Gabriel, good night. All right. So it says So this equal sign is very important. Now they're both vectors. Now, if these vectors are equal and the vector OP is, let's look at our graph here. If the vector OP is 2, 4, and what does that mean? 2, 4. Let's look at what it means. It means that you're counting from the origin. 1, 2. Everybody saw that? Everybody saw that? I want to ensure that you understand before I move on. Let me know if you understand that, please. All right, I'm going to say silence is consent. Okay, all right. So we'll move 2. So the top number tells us how many space to move from the origin. 2. Then we're going to go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the vector. So when it says OP is equal to RQ, it simply means that the vector from R to the point Q is the same thing as 2, 4. But, I want you to look at this. So RQ, now we only have Q. We don't have R. We need to find R. How can we use a graph then to find R? Now, if the travel from R to Q was 2 steps from R and then 4 up to Q, then it simply means then to travel from Q, we can find R. Let me let you think in. I think I'm talking too much. This is not my style. Can one of you or anyone tell me if we're going to go from if R to Q is the same vector as 2 to 4, 2 then 4, then how could we travel then from Q? Or could we find R knowing that we have Q? What will you do using the graph? Anybody? You have to start thinking now, guys. You have to start thinking now. What will we do? Our vector for OP is 2, 4. And we know that O vector OP is equal to vector OQ. My question then, I want you to think about it. We're traveling from R to Q, but we only know where Q is. How can we find R? Just use your common sense. Okay, good night, Alicia Wilshire. Good night. So tell me now, we're trying to find point R. And we were told, let's go back to the question. We're trying to find point R, and we were told that the vector OP is equal to the vector RQ. So, but we know where the point Q is. So my question to the class is, having the point Q, knowing that the vector is both vector OP and RQ is the same, then what can we do then? All right, Lex is saying that R would come after Q. What do you mean? What do you mean? R would come after Q. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Lexi? R would come after Q.
So I'm saying we're that just a common sense. So I'm guessing that it's how the alphabet is.
Oh, no. Try again. Teresa says R is 8. What do you mean R is 8? Yeah, go ahead. Go again, Lexi.
Never mind.
Okay. All right. Somebody want to try? Lexi tried. Anybody want to try? Well, Gabriel is saying from YouTube that, sir, we would find R by counting. Well, yes, we're going to find R by counting, but counting in which direction? That is the question. So Gabriel from YouTube has given a little hint that we're going to count. We're going to find R by counting, but counting in which direction? That is the question. So Gabriel says we're going to find R by counting, but count which direction? Well, Teresa says that from the origin R is 8. No, that is not correct, Teresa. Nice try, but try again. Anybody else? I heard from Lexi in Zoom. I want to hear from Nikosha or Tangini. What do you think? Gabriel gave us a hint. She says we're gonna find R by counting, but counting from where? And counting in which direction? Think about it. They said to us that vector OP is equal to vector RQ. And we use a vector to travel from one point to another point. So if the vector to travel from O to P is the same vector to travel from R to Q, but we only have Q, how can we now find R? That's the question, which Gabriel gave a hint.
If it said that it's
You go, Lexi,
P
I'm
and
listening.
Q that gives R, right, sir?
P and Q? No, P and Q doesn't give R.
What did you say?
It says vector OP, meaning vector OP. So vector OP, this is where O is, origin. So 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a vector. So we travel from O to P using that vector. So they are saying the same vector, you're going to use 2 first along the x-axis, then 4 along the y-axis to get from R to Q. But we only have Q, which is right here. So how are we then now going to use the information given to us that vector OP, position vector OP, is equal to the vector RQ? How are we going to use that information now to find the coordinate for R? That is the question. I'm going to give you another chance to think again. Then I'm going to give it that. Then I'm going to show you how. I want you to think again. Look at the graph carefully. Look at the graph carefully. If from O, if we're traveling from O, 1, 2, then we're going up to P, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the vector. That's the vector, you know. But we need to use the same vector to travel from R to Q. Put on your thinking caps. Let me put the information here so you can get it. So we're saying that vector OP is equal to vector RQ. That's what it's saying. Come on, try again. That's the information there. Let me go again.
Sir,
Yeah, go ahead, Tangini.
is it that OP and RQ is the same length?
Same length? Well, well, they would have the same magnitude, yes. That is true, because once they're equal, they will have the same magnitude, the same direction, yes. But how then would we use it? That's a question. All right, let me show the vector again. So this red line is going to show the vector, how the movement traveled. That's one vector right there in red. So we use the same kind of movement from R to Q. All right. Nicosia says you're going to count 4 times up from Q and 2 times to the right. All right, to the right. To the right. 2 times to the right. Let me see if we get it right. Is it right to the positive or right? You're talking about right. It's 2 times to the right. So you're saying that we're going to go 2 times to the right. All right, hold on. I am hearing that we're going to, Nicosia is saying you're going to count 4 times up from Q and 2 times to the right. Are you sure about that? You sure about that, Nicosia? You sure you want? You sure? You're onto something, but you're sure. Are you sure? So Nicosia is saying you're going to count 4 times up from Q and 2 times to the right. But note, we count on the right or the left first, then we go up or down. We count along the x-axis first, then we count along the y-axis. Remember that one, okay? Please remember that. Okay, waiting to hear what the verdict is going to be. All right, so all right. Then let me ask a question. Let me draw somebody. I'm going to draw a young man. Let me draw a picture. So you have to make sense of the question first. Let's say that here is a bus stop. This is a bus stop. And this young man came from his home. This morning he walked to the bus stop to take the school bus to school. Oh, Teresa says -2. Well, when you say it is -2, Teresa, I don't understand what you mean. You need to be more specific than that, Teresa. So this young man walked to the bus stop. He got his bus this morning. The bus took him to school. The bus picked him up back at school and took him back to the bus stop. How would we know the distance? How would we know how he got to the bus stop? Or the distance he traveled to get to the bus stop? How would we know that? What do you suggest we do to find that out? Anybody have a hint on that one? Remember, it's going home now, you know. But you want to know where he lives, where he's coming from. So what would you do? Would he continue walking in the same direction where school is? Or what would he do? What would he do? We want to try to find home. We want to try to find his home. So what would we do to find his home? Talk to me.
Sir, I'd have to know which direction you would go to find this home.
So which direction? So what would you do then? If you want to find which direction you would go to go, so what would you do then? What do you think you should do? It's simply no, but nothing too hard. All right, may I give you another little hint? I don't like this, and I want to think for myself, honestly. To the young man home right here, so then obviously the young man is going to go in the opposite direction. He has to go back in the opposite direction. That's his common sense. He has to go back in the opposite direction. There's no way he's going to continue walking that direction. He has to go in the opposite direction. So Q is the bus stop, R is his home. But it's the same distance you would have traveled. See, the same distance. So let's just, for example, there was a play field. So it would have sent the same vector. So this distance is equal to this. So you'd have traveled from here to here, and it traveled from, yeah, well, same thing. From here to here, or from here to here is the same thing. So therefore, but he's going home, has to go in the reverse. That's the idea. He has to go in the reverse. So if the vector was 2, 4, then which is RQ, then obviously you have to go QR then. You have to go QR. You have to go from Q to R, which is the inverse of the vector. The reverse, if you want to put it that way. Am I making sense? Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's look at it then. So we have to go then the reverse. So from Q, we go -2, so which is this direction. So 1, 2, and then we have to come down 4, -4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where R is. That's where R is. That's where R is, right? Good. That is where
Yes,
R
sir.
is. Good. So you have to do the opposite of the vectors. You have to learn to use the information that is given in the exam question. But it requires a lot of thinking. And students, boy. Oh boy. You have to do what I tell you to do. We still have time to get that grade 1, but try and finish up these assignments. Because I wanted to spend some time focusing on building your ability. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. No problem. All right, so you have to go the reverse. You see? The reverse. So equal vectors means that they are equal. Good. And they are parallel to each other. I'm going to show you that as well. So now I'm going to put where R is. So now we know where R is right now. So R is at 6. R is at, that would be, this is where R is, 6, -2. No, not 6, yeah, that's the coordinate, 6, -2, right? That's the coordinate for R, 6, -2. So we're going to, let's put it in, 6, -2. And I'm going to show you something. All right. It is 6, -2. Make note of that. All right. So let me get back in our vectors. All right. So R is at 6, -2. But I want you to see something right now. Now, 6, -2 is not the position vector, but it is the coordinate. Good. All right. So let us erase that. So we're going to put our point R now. So I've discovered our point, 6, -2. We're going to draw the vector now. So our position vector But OR is right here. I will let us change this to R. Nope. So into let us trying to see if I can get the letter here. Trying to change the letter. So I'm gonna see if I can change the letter before we do anything else. All right, just trying to change the letter. All right, let's put this vector in first. Then we're good to write it, all right? Why this is behaving like that? Okay, so we're gonna see if we can change this letter now. I'm trying to see if I can change the letter. What's this going on here? Trying to fix that up. Let me fix it up properly first. All right, just fix the pointer. Good. All right, so here we are now. So we're going to change this letter now to R. Good, so there we are. All right, so now our coordinate is 6, -2. Look at the vector from R to Q. Look at it. Look at the vector from R to Q now. Look at the vector from R to Q. 1, 2. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. So the truth is then, the truth is O vector OP is the same as 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing from R to Q. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing. But the question required you to do a bit of reasoning. It required you to do a bit of reasoning right here. So you see, the maths exam requires that, requires this. And it's very important that you guys do your assignments and try to get in my assignments. So we can spend more time to build the reasoning. All right. My aim is not for you to memorize anything. My aim is for you to develop the skill to think through a question, reason through the question. That is my objective. All right. So now that the SBs are out, let us try by the way of God's will to be in class every Monday, every Thursday. All right. Try not to miss our marathon sessions, 2 weeks of maths. We'll be having 2 weeks of mathematics, and it will be the first 2 weeks in May. We'll hit the gas every day except Friday nights will be maths class. So we come on Sunday night, well, not Sunday night, Saturday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and we start again Saturday night. No, yeah, Saturday night, then Monday night for that week. So we're going to try to do a lot of past paper questions within those 2 weeks. Do not come to class sitting there quiet and not answering. Everybody must be trying to think it through. Because what you do in these 2 weeks will determine how you'll go, the state of mind in the exam, how you're going to think when you're in the exam. That is where I want to get you. Right? So bear that in mind. Yes, HSB Nicosia will be the last 2 weeks of May because the math exam will be before HSB. So therefore, we have to use the first 2 weeks for maths and the last 2 weeks for human and social biology. That is what the marathon is going to be. The last 2 weeks of May is human and social biology. All right. Okay. All right. So that is it. So we had to reason out the question now. All right. So we use a graph to figure out the answer. Now let's get back to the question. So given that vector OP is equal to vector RQ, and when it says equal, it means it's equal. So if it is equal, they have to know what was vector OP. We figured it out earlier, 2/4. And if it is the same, if RQ is the same thing as 2/4, then how are we going to find R? All right, let's just look at another method then. So we look at the graph method. Let's look at the other method, all right? Let's look at the other method. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we're going to use vector addition now to find the coordinates of R. All right. So watch this now. Now, if you're going to travel from, you need two position vectors to get a displacement vector. So like how we're working towards RQ, we're going to need OR, and we're going to need OQ. All right. So watch this now, Watch this now. All right. Better yet, let me use my whiteboard to make this much comprehensible so you can comprehend it properly. All right. Good night again to those persons who are here on our YouTube channel. I hope you are following, hope you are learning, and I hope you are understanding. So we're going to go straight to our whiteboard to make this question easy. All right, so we're on the whiteboard now, right? Okay, so let us write our information that we have. So it told us then, let's do this first. So vector OP, we understand that is equal to vector, all right, so let's put another vector here, is equal to vector RQ. So we're using the additional vector method. Now, we're going to look at what we know first. First, we have to establish what we know first. And we know what OP is, right? We know that vector OP is equal to, I'm going to write like a vector, of course, is equal to 2, 4. That is vector OP. We know that. Based on the information given that OP is equal to RQ, we can also then say that RQ is equal to the same 2, 4, because that is what it is said. It is saying that. So when you're in the exam, note my technique now. You are writing down the information that they gave you because you're going to be using it. All right? Okay. Now, from knowledge, by way of knowledge now, you know that RQ is like a displacement vector. In order to get a displacement vector, you have to add 2 position vectors. And we know that position vectors has O, the letter O in it. So in other words then, we'd have to add I'm going to put them down here. Position vector OR, obviously, plus position vector OQ. Watch this now. Watch this now. All right. Watch where I'm going. OQ. Now, my question, don't you know what OQ is too? OQ, we know what OQ is, of course, because that was also given. So we can add that to our list of what we already know. We know what OQ is, right? OQ was what? What was OQ? Can somebody tell me what was OQ? It was 8-2? 8-2, right? Anybody wrote it down in their notes last week?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So OQ is 8-2. So we know what OQ is. That was it. So if we're going to travel from R to Q, if we're going to travel from R to Q, and we also know that the resultant vector here, when we add these two vectors, it is going to be RQ. So watch this now. Watch this now. Oh, so when I get it. Watch this now. Huh? Now, my job is not to show that I know maths. No. My job is to get you to think. But I'm just demonstrating. So you see the level of thinking that is required. And when I push you to think, you need to think and stop being quiet. Take the chance. Take the chance. Don't stay there quiet. That's not going to help you. All right, good. Now, so we know these two information. We know OQ and we know RQ. All right, so watch this now. Watch the story I know. So here, let's write the vectors that we know. So OQ is 8-2. And we know RQ because they told us that RQ is equal to OP. So we can write this too, which is what? 2, 4. So my question, the unknown is what? OR, don't it? So let's call it X. So it looks like a algebraic statement. No. Now, how would they find X? Then how would they find X from here? So now, how would they find X from here? So now, tell me. How would they find X from here? So anybody? Tangini, go ahead. Tangini, if you are speaking, your mic is muted. How do you find X now? Go ahead now.
Sir, the way I would do it is just like any algebraic question.
Which is true. That is exactly all I wanted to do. So tell me what you would do then.
Sir, the OQ,
Yes.
I put it on the other side, subtract it from RQ.
Exactly. That's exactly what I wanted to do. You have to subtract OQ from RQ. You have to do that. No doubt. No doubt. So then, let us open another window. Make it clear. So we decide then to find X then. Or if you want to put it like this, be on the safe side, A, B, right? Or yeah, A, B, good. Or if you want to say XY, since this is position vector, not a problem, good. So this is equal now to what now? You just said it. So when you subtract the other, so we had so RQ is what? 2, 4, right?
Yes,
2, 4.
sir.
Good. And we're going to subtract the other one from it, which is 8, 2, right? 8, 2.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. All right. So we're subtracting. We are subtracting. What are we subtracting now? We're subtracting what?
Sir,
R
OQ from RQ.
OQ from RQ. So this is OQ right here. This is OQ right here, right?
No, sir. No, sir.
Hold on there. And OQ this.
No, sir.
So where's OQ?
Sir, you're subtracting RQ from OQ. Sorry.
We're subtracting RQ from.
OQ.
Oh, so it's the other way around then.
Yes, sir. Sure, then 2, 4 would be OQ and 8, 2 would be RQ.
So this is it. This is, hold on there. 2, 4 appears, eh? Good. So our answer now will be what now?
6, 2.
6, 2. Six negative 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. So there it is. So our position vector then now. So because we know that OP, OR, that is OR now. That is OR right now. Good. That is now OR. Oh, yes, Alicia, we see that. Take away. Oh, yes, Alicia. Very good, Alicia. Take away. All right. Good. So now we have 6, negative 2. So remember that this XY is position vector. Let's put it at the top there. That is the position vector. We're going to go back over it. So if you didn't understand, you can get it sorted out. So this is, we're looking for OR. Good. And if OR is the position vector 6, negative 2, then of course, you sure it's 6, negative 2? All right, good. 6 on the x-axis and 2, negative 2 on the y-axis. So therefore, x is 6 and y is negative 2. This is OR. All right, let's get back to board 1, where we're coming from. So first of all, the question told us that vector OP is equal to vector RQ. I say, okay then. So, okay, so I write it down. We know what OP is because we were told to find OP before, and we wrote it 2, 4. We are told from the question that these two vectors are equal. So I can write down RQ equal to 2, 4. You see, you have to work like a detective, you know, in a police force. Detectives write down what they know, evidence, what they gather from witnesses. So they write down the evidence, and they're going to use now the evidence now to try to get their suspect to close the case. So it's the same thing, you know, with maths. So when you're a mathematician, think that you're working like a detective, trying to gather evidence first. And I want you to listen. If you're doing mathematics, you have to work like a detective. So you first try to gather the evidence them. So you look to see what are the information provided for you to work with, to discover now what you don't know. And what you don't know is who commit the crime, which is the answer. Make sense? Good. So always remember, mathematicians and detectives think alike. Remember that. Okay. Now, so we get to understand that OR plus OQ would have given us RQ, but we'd have to, but we also know, no, well, no, we don't know this. We want to find RO, but what this should have been right here, this should have been the opposite. That's all. This should have been the opposite, don't you agree? Talk to me. Why not talk?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. Thank you, thank you. So this OR here, should I really write it as RO instead? But I put it there because I wanted to sit using the two position vectors. So I'm going to kind of rewrite this a bit and call it RO. Good? And if I call it RO, then this has to be negative X. Agree? Agree?
Sir.
We agree on this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So therefore, in fact, we were supposed to actually subtract OQ from RQ the other way around. So it should be the other way around, right? This supposed to be RO instead. And you call this negative X. It's going to work out to be the same thing. Don't worry yourself. Good. So we'd have put back the 2, 4 right here, which represent RQ. And then put back our 8, 2 right here. All right. Now, what would end up having right here is negative 6 and positive 2 right here. But look what is going to happen now. Now, we have to get rid of these negative signs. Agree? So, watch this now, you know. Watch me now. We have to get rid of the negative signs. So this is RO. And we need to get it, we need to get it back, get it to what? To OR. And in order to get the OR, let us put it there first. Be patient and observe. So this is RO. This is RO. Now to get OR, we have to multiply now whatever is in these two brackets by -1. That's what we have to do. Good. So let us do that now. All right. So let me set it up a bit. So -1, -1. So we have to multiply the vector, everything there, by -1. Good. All right, just use the scalar. Just use a scalar. Put it on the other side. -1. That's the scalar. Good. So use the -1 to multiply by the -6 and multiply by the +2. And then now that will give us now our OR, which is in fact +6, -2. So this is the actual way for it to be done. Okay. All right. So now we have OR. So arrive at the same answer that we had before, but that's the right way to get there. That's it. Make sense now? Make sense? So yes. I'll show you the graph way, and I'll show you the way to calculate it. Nikosha or Ashi, if you don't understand, let me know. Please let me know. Don't leave the class and you don't understand. I'm not going to eat off your head. I will only eat off your head when I need my assignments. All right. Okay. All right, so let's start back again for the final time. Okay, so Nicole should understand. What about you, Ashi? Do you understand? All right, not hearing from Ashi. So Yes, Tangini, go ahead.
Could you put it back on board too? I wanted to write it off.
Okay, sorry. Here it is. All right, so while Tangini is writing this down, I'll say to those persons on YouTube that our quiz is coming up next. We're gonna do one more question and then we go to the quiz.
Sorry, I can put it back.
Okay, thank you. So we'll do one more question, then we go to the quiz, and then we wrap it up for tonight. All right. Now, so look at it now. So we use the information given in the question that both vectors are equal, OP and RQ. We write down what OP is. We write down what RQ is. Them equal, see? Same thing. Then now we know that in order for us to get RQ, we need two position vectors, OR and OQ. So then now, OR would have been X, because we don't know. But you know, when we're adding the two vectors to get the RQ, we'd have to switch around the OR to RO. Therefore, it has become a negative X. Then now, we know OQ, which was already given in the question and the graph. We write it down A2. Then now, we can set up our vector addition. So we want to find RQ. We write RQ right here, which is 2, 4. So as Tangini said earlier, she would treat it like a normal algebra statement. Good. Then now we go over here and we write RO as a negative X, negative Y. Then we'll put our 2, 4 minus 8. So our 2, 4 is RQ minus our OQ. We get negative 6 and 2. But this is RO, but we need OR. So we have to use the negative 1 now and change the thing, change the direction. So I have negative 6 times negative 1, give us positive 6. Negative 1 times 2 times positive 2, give us negative 2. So that is the answer. So now we're going to go back now to the question now, the final part of the question. Then we go to a second question, and then we go straight into our quiz. All right, so I'm going to go back to the question. Yeah, that's where we're going to go back to the question. All right, so now back to the question now. So we have figured out our 3 marks. There's so much thinking you have to do to get 3 marks. A lot of thinking. There was a state the type of quadrilateral formed by PQRO. Now that you know where point P is, you know where point Q is, you know where point R is, and you know where point O is. Then now, let's go back to the graph to see the type of quadrilateral. Now, what this means then, you have to know the name of shapes and how they look. Now, if you look at that, what type of shape does that look like? It's a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is the name of that shape? Anybody? That's the easiest part of the question. What's the name of that shape? OPQR. What it looks like to you?
Cuboid.
Cuboid? No. That's not a 3-dimensional shape. That's a 2-dimensional shape. So you get cuboid in that.
Oh. Or is that a rectangle?
It is a rectangle. It is a rectangle. So that's the answer. It's a rectangle. That's the answer for that. All right, let's go to our second question. June 2016 question. We're going to go to that one now. We have. So we're going to do a lot of vector questions to ensure that you get a lot of practice on your vector questions. So don't worry yourself. We're not going to leave you out at all. I would not be leaving you out not at all. Okay, so we're going to go now to our 2016 May-June vector question. And then after this, we'll go to the quiz. And then that will wrap the class up. Okay, so Teresa says a rectangle. Okay, very good, Teresa. And we have a lot of work to cover, folks, a lot of work, because I'm gonna drag the assignments them out. Came to the agreement and then break the agreement. Break the agreement. Okay, so here it is. All right, go ahead and try if you could answer part 1 for me, please. Try to do it for yourselves. Answer part 1. All right, try and answer part 1 for yourself. Vector AB. All right, while you're trying to figure it out, can somebody read the question for me, please? 11A. Can somebody read 11A for me, please?
The position vectors.
Yeah, go ahead, coach. I'm listening. Go ahead.
The position vectors of point A, B, and C relate to the origin O are OA equal 2 over -2, OB equal 6 over 1, and OC 10 over 4 respectively.
Okay.
Express.
All right, you can stop there. Remember, you always put a full stop. Thank you very much. Now, what is OA, OB, OC? What are those? What are those called again? OA, OB, OC. What are those called? What are those called? OA, OB, OC. What are those called?
Sir, the position vectors.
Very good. Position vectors. Well done. Now, based on what I've said earlier, in order to find AB, what do you need to have first? And how many of them? Did you make note of what I said? AB. What do we need to have first? We want to find vector AB. All right, yes, Gabriel, you're correct. They're called position vectors. Yes, so I ask you to know. To find AB, what do I say you need to have? AB is like a displacement vector, good? So what do you need to, what do you need to know first before you can express vector AB in the form X over Y? Teresa said coordinates. No, not necessarily the coordinates, not the coordinates. Not the coordinates. Gabriel says, sir, you said we need to have 2 position vectors. That is correct, Gabriel. See, Gabriel is listening. We're Tangini and Koshine. That is correct, Gabriel. I said we need to have 2 position vectors in order to find the displacement vector AB. That's what I said. Now, Tangini or Nicosia, which two position vectors would we use to find AB? Which two position vectors would we use? Come answer. Which two position vectors would we use to express in the form to find AB? Basically, that's what I'm asking. Which two position vectors?
Sir, vector OA and OB.
Excellent. Vector OA and vector OB. Excellent. And what are we going to do with vector OA and vector OB? What are we going to do with them? Come, talk, enough to talk. What are we going to do with vector OA and vector OB? What are we going to do with them?
Sir, could you repeat?
Yeah, what are we going to do with the both vector OA and OB? What are we going to do with them now? What are we going to do with vector OA and vector OB? What are we going to do with them? Come talk to me. Hmm? The stock? Look back at your notes. You have it in the notes. So you must can tell me. What are we going to do with vector OA and vector OB? Those are the two vectors we must choose, yes. But what are we going to do with the both of them in order to find vector AB? What are we going to do with them?
Sir, is it the same as the other question?
Yeah, same technique. So what are we going to do with OA and OB? What are we going to do with them? I'm saying we write off everything.
Sir, express it as an algebraic equation.
No. Anybody in YouTube want to tell us what we're going to do with vector OA and vector OA and vector OB? Would somebody type it in the chat, in the YouTube chat, what we're going to do? Look back at that. I mean, look back at everything that I wrote. If we have OA and OB and we want to find AB, look back on last week's notes. And even today notes. Hmm? Don't find us yet? Take away? No, Alicia, no, Teresa. We're not going to take away. You don't take away. You're not going to take away, sweetheart. Not going to take away. Not in this case. All right. Pay attention again. Please pay attention. Ready? Pay attention. I beg you to pay attention. All right. What was vector OA? According to the question, what was vector OA, please? Did you write it down?
Search 2, -2.
2, -2. 2, -2. What was vector OB?
6, -6, 1. Sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir. 6, 1.
So that's 6-1. All right. Okay, Gabriel is correct. We are going to add them. That's it. You have to add them. You have to add them. That is it. If you pay attention here, Tangini. OA plus OB and it's supposed to give us. But now, after we reach this step, okay, Alicia, no problem. Okay, Alicia. Well, you need to make your notes, Alicia. You need to make your notes. All right, so we're going to add them, right? Now, in order to get AB, what we have to do? Which of these two vectors are we going to change around? Which of the two vectors are we going to change around? Which of the two vectors are we going to change around?
Sir, OA.
OA, excellent. So we're going to change around OA. All right, so plus OB. And then that will give us vector AB. See? Make sure you make note of this now. Make note of it now. May I beg you? All right. Okay, you're going to do the next one for yourself. Now, so we're going to write what now vector A is, vector AO is now. So what vector AO is going to be now? Let me hear it. What vector AO is going to be now?
Sir, -2, 2.
Very good. -2 at the top and +2 at the bottom. Excellent. Plus OB, which is 6-1. All right. So our vector AB is now equal to now. What is now equal to now?
Sir, 4-3.
4-3. Excellent. All right. So you guys are now going to do the other one for yourself now. AC. You're going to do AC for yourself now. Remember the vectors for which two position vectors are we going to use for AC, by the way? Which two position vectors are we going to use for AC? All right, Alicia got that correct, 4/3. Yeah, so which two position vector we're going to use for AC? Which two position vectors we're going to use for AC? Huh? Nikosha, go ahead.
OA.
OA and OA and OC. Excellent, good. All right, so go ahead and do it for yourself now. Let me carry back to the question. And I want those in YouTube to try to get AC for themselves. Because it's a learning moment now, learning moment. Let me go back now to the question itself. So those are the two position vectors. Write them down and solve it. Go ahead. I showed you one. All right, so Gabriel, Alicia is correct also, AO and AC. Very good, Alicia, you're learning. Gabriel McPherson as well, OA and OC, same thing. All right, so Alicia already turned it around, AO. No, not AC, Alicia, not AC. The AC is not a position vector, Alicia. They made a mistake right there. They made a mistake, Alicia. You have the AO part, okay, because is OA, which is switch to AO, but we're trying to find AC. So Gabriel have it perfectly right. OA and OC. Those are the two position vectors to find ACs. I want you guys to go ahead and try for yourself now. So we're going to go to the quiz next. Okay, Teresa, good job, AO and OC. So work it out now. Okay, Alicia, you're forgiven for that mistake. Come, guys, I'm waiting for the answer. Any answers yet? And all right, so Teresa says that over that. No, Teresa. Try again. I almost got it. I think I made a mistake in your typing error. Teresa made a little mistake right there. From Tangini and Kosha on a she. All right, so Nikosha has that over that. Nikosha, you get that? No. No, Nikosha. That not gonna work. Remember now, you know, if you switch up OA to AO, it's gonna be the other way around. That means you never write down the notes and you now follow. All right, Gabriel got -8. How do you get that? It's 8 over that, but it's not negative. Can't be negative. You came very close, Gabriel, except one little mistake. All right, Tangini, excellent. Excellent, Tangini. Good job. Try again, Nikosha. You almost got there, Alicia, but how you got that 2? How you got that 2? Come, Nikosha, give it a chance. Come, Ashe. And guys, if when you're having problems with the internet, you know you can always go back to the YouTube channel. Okay, Gabriel, it is perfectly right now, Gabriel. All right, come guys, we need to wrap up this class. Yes, Alicia, you're perfectly correct now. Perfectly correct. So you guys can go and find some passport questions looking just like this to get your practice, because practice makes perfect. All right, Nikosha, any corrections as yet? Ashay, Nikosha. I must answer, I'm calling the name, you know. I must answer when I call the name. All right. So I'm going to know if you are hearing me. All right, so Ashay is having internet problems. Okay, Teresa, you're correct now as well. You're also correct, Teresa. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and Ali, that's Tangini make it 4 are correct. So I'm now waiting for Nikosha, and I'm not sure Nikosha is, if Nikosha is having problems. Not sure, but let's go ahead now with the question. So we're using AO, position vector AO. And what's OA? OA again for me. Tell me OA again for me, please. What's OA again?
-2, 2.
That you sure? Or it's 2, -2. OA, I said no. OA.
2, -2.
2, -2. Okay, Alicia, the sign's tricky. Well, don't make it tricky again. All right, so now we're gonna have now OC. And what is OC?
10, 4.
10, 4. Thank you. All right. Okay. So now we're going to have our AO vector AO plus vector OC, and that should give us vector AC. Good. And then we know now that we're supposed to switch up OA to AO by multiplying by -1. So this now becomes -2 and then 2 right there. Then we're going to add that to OC, which is 10, 4. And then now -2 plus 10 will give us +8. So +8, no, +8 and +6. So that now, Nikosha. Nikosha, is that now? All right. Of course, you know, you can always go back to the videos to see what you missed out. That's a big yes, sir. All right. So now we're going to now move on to our quiz. But before we get to the quiz, to wrap up the class for tonight. Warm up for the quiz now. It's an easy quiz, 11 questions. I know you guys will do very well in this one. My students on Sunday night did it. So Tanisha, if you're there, don't bother do it again. Well, they can try again, Tanisha. Try your luck. All right. So now we're going to go into our quiz at this time. So we're going to go to our quiz. There are 26 questions. And I promise that next week, you'll definitely get the multiple choice C.X.C questions for next week's class. Oh, thank you for your response there, Alicia. So I'm going to put the link in the Zoom chat. There's the quiz. Two of you are on. I'm going to put it also in YouTube as well. All right, so our quiz is pinned to the chat. All right, so I get that one person already joined already. Coach has joined already. Tangini, quickly join, quickly. Waiting for Alicia to join, Teresa to join, Gabriel to join. All right, Tangini has joined, so we have 2 from Zoom. What about the YouTube team? We have 2s, and both of you better do well enough because we're always doing well. The Zoom team always win. I want to ensure the Zoom team win again tonight. Teresa is on, representing the YouTube team. Waiting for Alicia to come on, Gabriel to come on. Come on. Alicia and Gabriel, come on. We will not start without you guys. 2 more competitors, and if there's anyone just joining us on our live class, we're about to wrap it up, but with our exciting finish. We're going to be having an exciting finish, and we know that tonight will be an exciting one. The quiz is based on fractions, ratio, and proportion. Let's see how well these persons do it. So we're waiting for Alicia and Gabriel to join. Where are you guys? Gabriel is now on, waiting for Alicia. Alicia, let me know if you're coming on. No, don't have me waiting and you're not coming on. So we have 2 from YouTube, 2 from Zoom. Yes, go on the link, Alicia. Click on the link, Alicia. Yes, Alicia, click on the link. Yeah, click on the link, Alicia. We're waiting on you. Waiting on you, Alicia. Click on the link, please. So we're waiting on Alicia. If you're just joining us on our YouTube channel, every Monday we have a little competition. Zoom team versus the YouTube team. Of course, Zoom CDP Lab students versus our visitors. So feel free to join us now. And Alicia is on. So we're going to say, let the games begin. I'm not sure if there's anyone else, but everybody who has been participating so far is now in the competition. So let's go. Let the games begin. And they're off.
I'm not able to view the question.
You're not able to do it, Tangini?
sir.
Why not? Tell me why you're not Tangini. Tangini, what happened? All right, so Teresa has taken the lead, representing the YouTube team. All right, Tangini, why not able to do the question? All right, let's move on. I believe one more other person has joined.
Saying that connection time.
You're now on again. Try again. Oh, we are seeing another person from Salak 6 Claw. I don't know who that person is. What is it? What's saying, Tangini? Tangini, what you say? What does that mean? Text me, let me know, Tangini. Talk to me.
Where it says connection time.
Connection time, what?
Time.
No, man. Go to the quiz. Go back to it again, man. Click back on it and start again. All right, so we have a visitor. We're not sure who the visitor is, but we have a visitor. All right. Nikosha has taken over the lead. Gabriel is now in second. And we have a visitor. We don't know who the visitor is, but we'd like to know the visitor's name afterwards. You're still not able to click on it, Tangini?
I'm logging back in.
Okay. So we have a visitor. Salak 6 Claw. I don't know who that is, but we have a visitor there. Still having problem, Tangini?
Yes, sir.
All you have to do is click on the link and the question is there. All right, Nikosha is still in the lead. Teresa is now in second. Okay, so Nikosha maintains the lead, but let's see if the lead will change. Okay, Gabriel is now in second. So the YouTube team is going. Tangini need to start out that phone in a Tangini. To start out that phone. You leave Nikosha alone to be battling. Teresa has regained second place and Nikosha is there. So we now have 8 competitors. Oh, Alicia is in twice. Alicia is in 3 times. Alicia has competed 3 times. Okay. Lisa has gone up. Well, I don't know which of the Alicia is this one. There are 3 Alicias there. Which one is Alicia here? Lead continues. Nikosha, hold on to the lead. I don't want to be biased, but it looks very competitive. Okay. So we have 2 more questions to go. Kosha. Okay, no changes. We'll continue. So we have, I think this is 1 more question to go. sorry, it's 26 questions. They have several more questions. After the 26 questions. Oh, let me check, Teresa, if you are still in. Yes, you are still in, Teresa. We see Abigail has joined the competition. Okay, then. So we still have a lot.
As if I'm joining, but I'm not seeing the questions.
You're not seeing the questions? No, you have to go over to the quiz. You have to go over to the quiz. Come out of, leave the Zoom and don't log out of Zoom, but go over to the quiz. Go over to the quiz part of it. You hear me? Let's continue. We are still in, Teresa. We have two more competitors, Black Six Clove, and we have Abigail there as well. Well, Teresa has now taken the lead from Nikosha. Ah, boy. The Zoom team getting mashed up now, you know. Thank you, we're seeing the questions now. Not getting in. You have to stay into the question. All right, so there's a slim lead between Teresa and Nikosha. We have 26 questions in all, and we have 12 more questions to go. Gabriel is still trying to hold on. Teresa continues to lead. So the top three, and we see YouTube taking over tonight. This is serious. If you're just joining us on our CDP Labs of the Services mathematics class live stream, we are now in our competition segment. All right. Okay, so somebody has jumped in. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Teresa is still in the lead. Okay, Alicia passed Gabriel. Wow, what's going on here? Alicia's the top 3.
There's me.
Oh, you're that Alicia. Okay. All right, thank you.
Abigail.
Okay. No changes as yet. Okay, then. So we still have 8 more questions to go. What can you guys do with these 8 questions? Let Teresa be the winner for the first time in the maths competition. Wow. No changes. Okay. So we have 6 more questions to go. Kosha, this is really a competition. Kosha now has taken over from Teresa. This is a competition. Let's go. 7 more questions to go. No changes. Okay. Well, have more time to get this one. Kosha, Teresa, Alisa, and Tangini. I want to make sure all the devices are recognized. Kosha has answered, Teresa has answered, Lisa have answered, and Abigail, which is Tangini. Gabriel, are you there? Giving Gabriel some time to answer. Not enough time to work it out, sir. Well, I get enough time now, Teresa. A lot of time here, Teresa. Find a technique. Promise next week all questions will be at least 2 minutes long. Standard multiple choice timing for next week, 2 minutes long. All questions. Gabriel, show something. All right, so I guess everybody has answered already. Let's move on to the next question. No changes. So we're going to move on to the next question. There are 3 more questions remaining. This is a lot of time to work this one out. 2/3 divided by 1/12. Okay, Kosha jumped out. Alicia went into that one. Teresa, we got it. Waiting for Gabriel to get it. Tangini got it as well. All right, so that means I can end the question. Let's see results. No changes. The Kosha continues to lead. Wow, okay. Thank you. So we're up onto our 2 more questions to go. 5/6 divided by 5/4. Kosha have answered, Teresa have answered, Alisa, Tangini. Waiting for Gabriel to answer. All right, Gabriel's answered. So now we're going to go to the 25th, second to last question. No changes. Okay. Okay. So we're on our second to last question. Let's see if it'll separate the 2, making a changes in the top 2. So we're on our second to last question. hard one, eh? Okay. So Teresa trying a thing on this one. Will Teresa win tonight? Or will it be Nikosha? Clock is going. It has 18 feet of lumber. How many 2.5 foot shelves can he make? It's a rough one. Time's up. No switches, no changes. Well, so we're up on the final question. Will it make a difference? It did make a difference in our quiz for Group 2 students last night for HSB. It did make a difference. So will it make a difference tonight? Will Teresa win? Will Nikosha win? Okay. Take Tangini went out for this one. I believe everybody has answered this. All right, let's see. Let's see what the winner is for tonight. No changes. Okay then. No changes. All right, you guys can all come back to Zoom now. You can all come back to Zoom now. Competition is over. All return to Zoom. Return to my page now. I want to see Alisa getting back, Teresa, Gabriel. So our winner tonight is Nikosha, third place Alicia, and second place Teresa. That's very good. Good job. Teresa says answer is 3/8. Sir, I made a mistake. Ush. Ush, 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 ush. Well, so Nikosha started off excellently, very good. Teresa there, and I saw Alicia there, and Abigail. There are several Alicias there. I'm not sure if all Alicia was the same Alicia. So Tangini, you're Abigail, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. You were having a bit of problems with your gadgets, so I hope next time you will be able to do better next time. But I must say, I don't know who Salak Six Claw. Was that yours as well, Tangini?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's wondering who Salak Six Claw. Okay then. All right. So it's congratulations again to Nikosha. Nikosha has saved the CDP Labs team. Very good. Congratulations to Alicia. But you did very well, Alicia. Time ran out. Tell me a lot. Well, you did well, Alicia. You did well. You came third for your first time competing. Alicia came third. Congratulations. Good job, Gabriel. I don't know what went wrong on Gabriel's size, but you participated. Not bad. You came fourth. Better luck next time. Tangini came fifth. So Nikosha has held on to the maintaining the winning streak for CDP Labs and Services students. So thank you very much, Nikosha. And a well-fought battle between Teresa and Nikosha. And good job, Alicia. Job well done. Okay. And Gabriel and Tangini, you have done well as well. So we look forward for our next competition, which is next week. Let me tell you from now, it will be multiple choice, C.X.C multiple choice questions based on measurements. So make sure you guys go and start with some measurement question so that you can start. Because the whole idea for the quiz each night is to prep you for the C.X.C multiple choice question. That is the whole idea of the quiz each night we stream. So job well done, excellent, good finish. Again, Nikosha, you're not saying anything good, Nikosha? Good night, Nikosha. You're not saying anything? Nikosha, you're not saying anything, Nikosha? Nikosha, you're winning, huh? I'm not hearing a word from you, or even text it. While we wait for Nikosha to respond to her victory tonight, I would like to, we normally evaluate the class. So I want to hear from those of you in YouTube, how was tonight's class? And of course, you know, the in-house Zoom members, CDP Lab students, how was class tonight for you? All right, so Teresa says, sir, as I said, a long time I left school, need more time, sir, I'm struggling. Well, you came second. You came second, Teresa. Look forward for you. Look forward to see if you'll win Wednesday night's showdown. Okay. All right. How was class tonight, though? Teresa, Alicia, Gabriel, Tangini, Nikosha's gone. I don't know where she's gone. Well, Tangini, how was class for you tonight? Apart from you
I'm
got it.
upset, sir, because
You're upset. All right, Tangini. No worries. You know how to sort it out next time, right? You have to come
yes,
with
sir.
another device, another spikes. So I saw you came with another spikes. So you can use the Abigail spikes to do well for next week's class. But apart from that, you know, did you learn from tonight's class?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And I'm sure the coach would have said the same as well. We will hope that would have seen QA in class tonight, but unfortunately he was not in it. If QA is in the class tonight, we know it'll be very, very competitive, right? Very. But next week we'll see. We'll hopefully be there. All right. I want to hear from Alicia and Teresa and Gabriel. How was class for you tonight? Just want to hear from you guys. How was class from you tonight? And as we wait for them to type in their information, just want to remind you that the this month will our streaming ends this month. For those who are doing exams, we resume streaming in the month of June, July. Streaming will resume then. All right. Okay. Teresa says that class is fun as usual, sir. Informative. Um, they didn't remember anything about vectors, and you have learned. Okay, Teresa, thank you very much. So what about Alicia and Gabriel? I want to hear from Alicia and Gabriel. How was class for you guys tonight? While I wait on Alicia and Gabriel's response, just want to remind you that tonight is our last night, not tonight, this month of April, God's willing, is our last month of streaming before exams. We resume streaming on June, July thereabout. We'll resume streaming. Okay, Alicia says class was fun. I learned a lot on vectors for the first time doing this topic. Very informative and fun. Thank you for that. You're welcome, Alicia, and thank you for your comment. And Gabriel says, good night, sir. First of all, I would like to commend you, sir. You are the kind of teacher who goes all out to ensure that your students get the grade 1. God bless you, sir. Class tonight was okay. Thank you very much for that comment, Gabriel. And thank you very much, Alicia. Thank you very much, Teresa, for those comments. Oh, and Gabriel continues to say, simply exemplary. I learned a whole lot. You are certainly welcome. Welcome. And I do appreciate all those comments. To God be the glory. So we have three more. I believe we have three more maths streaming class, and we will close. So the month of May, there'll be no streaming. I'm sorry, management decides that there'll be no streaming for the month of May. It is a the month of May is our marathon sessions. We'll be having the first 2 weeks of May. We'll be doing mathematics all 2 weeks, strictly past paper questions. The competition also continues, but will not be streaming. Human and social biology, we will be going again for human and social biology. We'll be also having a 2 weeks marathon. The last 2 weeks in May, we'll be having our human and social biology marathon, and the first 2 weeks and so forth. Now we'll be advertising for the stream, the marathon. So look out for the video ad that will be coming on pretty soon. And of course, we will tell you how to participate in the marathon if you so desire to participate in the marathon. So your tickets will be online at our website. We'll let you know when to go for the tickets. And so you can log on into the meetings to be a part of the marathon. So if you can carry friends to the marathon, then you may luckily get a discount from the cost. All right. Alisa says the C.X.C timetable is out already, sir. Well, yes, it was out long time. C.X.C timetable out long time. They have not changed. They have not changed the last one, Alicia. They did not change the last one. So we know that exam begins in June. Exam begins in June. What I'll try to do on Wednesday night while we go live again, I'm going to stream the timetable. So persons who have not yet seen the C.X.C timetable will be able to see the C.X.C timetable. Tomorrow night, God's will, I'm not sure if our language teacher has taken all day, but we started our language class streaming on Tuesday of last week. Terry says, sir, how can I jump even though I'm not doing the maths exam? Is it jump or join, Teresa? What do you want to say? Join or jump, Teresa? Join or jump? What do you want to say? All right, Tangini, may go if you wish. All right, Tangini? And go back and do over that quiz. Okay, Tangini?
Yes, sir.
Do back over the multiple choice test so you can move on to the next assignments. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good night and take care. All right. So let me finish talking to my students here on YouTube. So just to repeat again, we have 3 more Monday night streaming maths class, God's willing, and we will have we start streaming again tomorrow, God's willing, for English language. Last week, Mrs. Riley was on, did a very good job. Would ask us to support the language class as well. Oh, you said join, Teresa. How you can join? You're not doing the exam. Well, you have to speak to Mrs. Riley on that one, and she will speak to you. She's in the WhatsApp group, so you can speak to her. Yes, Alicia, I am on WhatsApp. I am on WhatsApp, Alicia. Let me give you the number. I am on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is I'm going to type the WhatsApp number for you. WhatsApp number is 1-876-324-8441. That's our WhatsApp number. Okay. So I think I just gave it a WhatsApp number a while ago. So that's our WhatsApp number, Alicia. All right. Yes. So let us run through it again for the last time. Let's run through it again for the very last time. Okay, so one, we have 4 more maths live stream classes, and we want it next week class. We'll be having a guest teacher. He is Mr. Foster. You don't want to miss Mr. Foster's class. You don't want to miss his class. Trust me. Mr. Foster will be looking at the type. Oh, good night, Stacy. Good night. You just coming on, Stacy? You just coming on? Okay, you're welcome, Alicia. So I'm going to run through back everything now. So Mr. Foster next week will be joining us next week to look at the algebra relations and functions questions in section 2, paper 2. He will be joining on that class next week. He's a teacher, a very good maths teacher. Mr. Foster will be there with us to take our students through that part of the syllabus. Then we'll have 2 more maths classes coming down to the end. We'll try to wrap up the syllabus for those persons on YouTube. And of course, for language tomorrow, we will resume our language class tomorrow once the teachers didn't take holiday. So, but Tuesday nights, we have English language. We go live at 8 o'clock for English language. And on Wednesday nights, we go live for human and social biology. And after that Wednesday night, which is the 7th, we will have 3 more Wednesday nights class for streaming. Then at the end of April will be our last streaming online on our channel. But we will start our marathon on the first Saturday night in May, God's willing. The first Saturday night in May, and look for the advertisement for that. To get your tickets, you will have to go to our website, and you'll be given the instructions as the time draws near to get to the website and how to get your tickets. So please do continue to support this channel. I'm going to ask you to share the link with those persons who are doing exams and those who are interested to do exams in next year, January 2022. So this is our last month for streaming, and on behalf of CDP Labs and Services, I'd like to say thank you very much to those persons, those of you who have been consistently participating this week. No exam in May. Well, there'll be no exams in May, Alicia. The C.X.C exam begins in June 2021. C.S.E.C exam begins in June 2021, and that's why we're doing our marathon in May 2022. Sorry, 2021. Okay, so let me correct myself. There'll be no exam in May 2021. The exam begins in June 2021. So we're doing our marathon in May 2021. All right. Marathon is not something to miss, especially with CDP Lazarus services. So persons will. Last year we had a student, we prepared for HSB 2 weeks before the exam and came out with a grade 2. Yes, Alicia, more time to study. Alicia, where are you from, Alicia? Where are you from, Alicia? I know that Teresa is one of our students. She does HSB with us. I guess you want to. Teresa, if you win the last 3 competitions of the maths, you might get a spot in the marathon, Teresa. If you win the competition for the last 3, I might ask Mrs. Riley to give you a spot. But of course, you have a spot for HSB, right? Yes. Okay, Alicia. All right. If there's no other question, let me know. And please remember now to share the link with others. Oh, you're from Mapen, Clarendon. Okay. Same parish as Teresa. Okay. Okay, that's good. And I know that Stacy is from Mandeville. All right. Okay, wonderful. So please continue to enjoy your holidays and do have a good night and be safe. Continue to follow the protocols given by the Jamaican government. And if you are from another country, viewing and listening, follow the protocols given by your leader of your country. Sanitize, wear your mask, double mask, they say, wear double mask right now, and keep your social distance. And above all, have your devotions in the morning. Pray, talk to God each night, each morning. Read your Bible and try as best as you can to follow the word of God. This is Mr. Bernard, yours truly, maths teacher tonight. Teresa, what do you mean I'm killing you? I'm not killing you, Teresa. I am not killing you. I am giving you a challenge. So take on the challenge. All right? Take on the challenge. So, and encourage your friends and family to subscribe. You know, ask person to subscribe because when our subscription grows, we're trying to reduce the cost for students to join CDP Library services. So as long as we hit that 1,000 mark, then the cost for the class will go way down and more persons will be able to join the classes. So it is good when you guys subscribe, share the link, and leave a comment. And of course, if you like what you're getting, click on the like. All right. Gotta go now. So have a good night. Take care. Good night, Teresa. Good night, Alicia. Good night, Gabriel. And good night, Stacy. And whosoever is still there, have a blessed night. Take care. Okay, thank you, Teresa. Yes, send a link to them and ask them to subscribe. Thank you very much, Teresa.